What's the best way to start off your Performance Max campaign for your store to reach maximum profitability as soon as possible? Today's video is all about it, how we start off accounts spending less than $3,000 a month on Google Ads, how we set up their Performance Max campaign. So I broke down this video in a few sections: less than 100 per day budget, as you can see here, or less than 3,000 per month budget. We have our asset groups or asset group strategy here, which is the most important part of this video, as asset groups are a very big things out of the Performance Max campaign. And finally, some secret settings we have in place, some recommended settings we have in the beginning, which will help you a lot, at least in this initial stage. Now, before we jump straight into the content, make sure to click the first link in the description if you want to have this managed for you. If you don't have the time to properly build out your own campaigns, if you don't have the time to set up all of this yourself, make sure to click the first link in the description and see how we can help you achieve the best possible results in your Google Ads account, increase bottom line, increase non-branded revenue, increase overall sales. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Less than 100 per day budget. Here's the exact structure we implement across all of our clients that are in this category. For asset groups, here's what we want to do. We want to have a separation between days. Day 1 to day 45, day 45 to day 90, day 90 onwards. So to start, day 1 to day 45. Here's the exact setup we want to have. We only want to have, and this may change if you have a very specific setup, but in general we see this structure working. You want to have one asset group, and this asset group is a feed only asset group. What does that mean? Feed only asset groups, what they are only using your Merchant Center product feed to target on the campaign in general. So you're not using images, you're not using videos, not using highlights, you're just using your product catalog from your Merchant Center account. And what that does is that makes the Performance Max campaign very similar to what was Smart Shopping before. This used to be a very profitable campaign and very easy to optimize. So that's the exact reason why you want that for the first to the 40, from day 1 to day 45, because you want to make sure you start off the campaigns as profitable as possible. You want to make sure they're profitable as soon as possible. So this is why I'd recommend starting off with only feed asset groups. More profitable from day one, as I mentioned before. Avoid big learning phase. If you launch a Performance Max campaign with multiple asset groups in the beginning, it's going to take a long time to optimize, given you have only $100 a day to spend. What that means is your campaign is going to be spending for a long time. You won't see returns until it optimizes in maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Finally, it helps you understand, I forgot to add the text here, but helps you understand which products work best for you. So on your Performance Max campaigns, you can break down on the feed, you can break down which products are selling the best, which products are having the highest ROI. From there, you can, on later phases here, as I'm going to show you, you can give more emphasis to these products that are performing the best, the products that the Performance Max is selling the most, pretty much. So that's it for day 1 to day 45. You want to leave this campaign running for 45 days, as this is the initial learning phase the PMAX campaign requires. So just leave it running, see the results after day 45. Here's what you do. Day 45 to day 90, you introduce a second asset group with assets only, no feed. So here what you're doing is you're pretty much completing the PMAX setup. You already have a feed only asset group. Now you're adding the assets. Assets mean images, videos, headlines, and so on. So here what you're going to do is you're going to pick your best selling 3 to 5 items, your best seller products, your main sellers, and you're going to add 3 images of each inside of this campaign, plus some general images of your collection. So you want to make this asset group very broad. You don't want to be specific here, because you'll be promoting your whole website with this asset group. It's a broader asset group. So you want to have images, of course, of your best sellers, because those are the ones who are going to get the most attention naturally, but you also want general images. What that's going to do is it's going to allow Performance Max to go after the best landing pages and find ways to optimize and bring more sales. Also, add 5 YouTube videos. You have the option to add 5 YouTube videos per asset group. Since we have one more asset group, you want to have 5 YouTube videos inside of it. I break down the full creative strategy in another video, which I'm going to leave in the info card. But primarily what you want to do here is have one video to create awareness about your brand in general, maybe highlighting the best sellers, maybe highlighting a few products. The second one to create desire. That's where you go deeper into features, benefits, showing more in detail the products. Third one, show social proof. Here's where you want to throw in some reviews, throw in some customer testimonials, some UGC, some overall trust increasing elements like this. Fourth, break objections. Here you want to have a video breaking down the product, pretty much going through things that people might be skeptical about, people that don't trust the product. You go ahead and you test the product in front of the person. You pretty much explain, compare to other products, so on and so forth. A video to break customers' objections. And finally, have your last video here combining all of these other videos together. So you have one big video where I briefly introduce your products, then creating desire for your products, showing social proof, and breaking objections. So this is it for this asset group. Again, I'm going to leave 2 other videos listed, going very, very deep into how to set up your asset groups. There's so much you can do. But from day 45 to day 90, here, that's the structure you want to have. Since you don't have a crazy budget, we want to keep this campaign very lean. We just want to have one feed-only asset group from day 1 to 45, and then we'll introduce from day 45 to 90, we want to introduce one more asset group. Of course, if your campaign is performing incredibly well already, you can play around, maybe add a bit more asset groups, maybe try this and that. However, this is kind of where you want to be with them. This is the limits we saw working the best for us. At least most of our clients that are spending less than $3,000 a month benefit from this structure right here. Now, let's talk about day 90 onwards. So after day 90, your campaign will have a lot of data and a lot of optimization, and you'll most likely be hitting your metrics, your desired ROAS at the desired spending. So now what we want to do, we want to expand, we want to be more specific with our asset groups. So here you start introducing specific asset groups for best-selling products or categories. So up until this point, you had 2 asset groups, the feed only, which is still on, and the broader asset group with only the assets. You keep this on as well. Now you start introducing a few more. So here what you want to do, for example, let's say you sell leather bags, wallets, and jewelry, all on one store. Here's where you break down your PMAX campaign into leather bags, one individual asset group, wallets, the second asset group, and then a third asset group, which is just jewelry. Now you have 3 asset groups. They're optimizing for their category individually. Over time, after 90 days on, you're going to see these asset groups becoming more and more profitable. On these asset groups specifically, you can add the feed, you can add the products, but then you can select pretty much only the products inside of that category specifically. Now, the whole asset group is tailored around one specific product or collection, as I mentioned. One thing you can also do is, instead of going for a full collection, leather bags, for example, you can pick 1 or 2 leather bags, your best sellers, and have individual asset groups for them. Maybe that's a little more when you are spending something around $5,000 to $6,000 a month, where you have more budget to play around with. But if you are seeing good results at day 90, then you can start expanding that way. Now you're going to have Performance Max optimizing for that specific product, so you know that Google is going after the exact ideal customer that buys that product. After some time, once this asset group optimizes, you're going to have this very, very, very powerful asset group going after new customers for that specific product, which is already your bestseller. That's how you get a lot of traction, even more traction in that product specifically. And then you just keep going like this. You don't want to overpopulate the campaign. You don't want to have too many asset groups because you're still at a low spending. However, as time passes, as you give time to the campaign, you want to be doing these small expansions to make sure you are squeezing as much as possible out of your budget. Finally, let me give you some campaign settings that need to be in place. First off, bidding. Bidding, you're going to set this up from day one. So when you start your campaign, you already set this up in this way here. So bidding, conversions. You have two options, conversions and conversion value. You can optimize, you want to focus on conversions or conversion value. Here's the trick. There's two ways you can go about it. Both ways work. Now it's going to depend on your type of store specifically. You're going to choose conversions if your orders have similar prices on average. So let's say you sell wallets. All of your wallets cost on average $40, and people don't really buy 2 or 3 units at a time. So your store, pretty much all of the orders are going to be $40 or euros, for example. It's very flat, it doesn't vary a lot. In this case, you want to go for maximized conversion because you just want more sales. Since the sales are going to be pretty much the same price, you just want more sales. So that's when you select conversions. Now, if you have orders with very different prices, let's say you have a category which for which the AOV is $240, and then another one for which the AOV is $30. Very different categories. You want to have this campaign set to focus on conversion value, because for you it's more beneficial if Google go after a customer spends the same amount to find a customer to buy the 240 product or bundle instead of the $30 bundle. Because you have very different customer types there, and you want Google to go after the customer that spends the most. That's how you make the campaign more profitable, pretty much. That's when you optimize for conversion value. You can also set a target cost per acquisition. So let's say your ideal cost per acquisition is $30, $40, $50. After the initial 45 days, I'd put a desired cost per action here. Before that, I wouldn't put it in. You just want to let the campaign learn by itself and bring you the lowest cost it can get. Then you have targeting. So you have this new option out of Performance Max, which is really interesting, which is final URL expansion. Now, Google is using all its power, all its AI, the biggest AI in the world, to dynamically target your landing pages with Performance Max based on the funnel, based on the customer path, the customer journey they see being the most effective on your website. So if you select this option, if you click on, as you can see on the screen here, Google will automatically send traffic to different landing pages. Now, the reason why you want to have this on is because Google crawls your website every single day for the last however many years you have your store up for. So they know exactly what customers do before buying. They go to this page, then they go to this page, and they check out this link, then they go here, then they go there, and then they purchase. Google will make sure they follow the same path and make sure to send people in the most efficient landing pages possible. So I'd always keep it on. One thing to do though is to exclude URLs. So there's some pages where you really don't want people to be landing on, for example, the privacy policy page or the refund policy page. So then you can come here, click this little pen, and pretty much put the URLs you don't want people to be landing on. Okay? Even the About Us pages, you may consider not excluding, because sometimes people will land on your About page they'll get to know you better, and then they'll buy from you because they pretty much connect with your message there. Just an example of how this targeting can work. Overall, we see working extremely well. We would recommend keeping this on at all times. Okay, so that's the structure. This is how I would personally start a Performance Max campaign. If I were to spend less than 3,000 a campaign, that's what we do for most of our clients, spending that amount. And that's the structure where you have pretty much a validated structure to base yourself off of. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was valuable. We will soon have videos on how to do the same for higher budgets, maybe from 3,000 to 6,000, 6,000 to 10,000, and 10,000 plus, and then keep going from there. But for now, I hope that was valuable. Again, if you need this managed for you, if you don't have the time to manage your Google Ads campaigns, if you don't have the time to properly manage the campaigns, properly scale the campaigns, click the first link in the description. We are going to fiercely improve your Google Ads results over the next 90 days. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.